What is the creepiest unexplained thing you have ever come across on the internet? By Ask Reddit.
When I was a kid, I had some cereal that had website to visit to enter to win some prize or something. I don't remember the specifics. Anyway, when I entered that site into my computer, it didn't take me to some kid-friendly site or anything. It took me to a blank white page with just the text, "We have been watching you."
Type skating most likely. Kellogg's getting hardcore with their marketing. Someone somehow guessed my name correctly in a 4chan thread. I didn't even give any clue to who I was. Still don't know who or how they did it.
Hi Jacob. So we meet again.
Nice to see you, Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de la Rosa Ramirez.
My name is Jijinu Goko no Surakai Kijirai Sugio no Sugiomatsu Unreimatsu Furematsu Gunyu Takoro Nisu Mu Takoro Yaburo Koji no Bureau Koji Papo no Shuringan no Gurandai no Pompakopai no Pompakona no Chokiyumio no Chojuk.
What a coincidence, my name is also all that stuff you just said.
Whenever you go out, the people always shout.
I was once reading a tongue-in-cheek article about paranoia, and it included a sentence like "They are watching everyone, even you, Dryu_Naya." The very next sentence said that they picked a name at random, but all the Dryu_Nayas out there must have shat so many bricks.
Fun part about not having a common name, this type of POO never works.
True LOL, but when it does, if it does, it's so much worse.
I have an uncommon name. One time in a shop I nearly fainted because the cashier suddenly shouted my name right in my face. Turned out they were trying to get the attention of their colleague of the same name who was standing 20 feet behind me.
It's possible, I think. I spontaneously met a guy one time, and for some reason I felt his name was Brian. So of course I was compelled to ask him right away, "Is your name Brian?" His name was Brian. I felt pretty cool about that.
Was casually surfing when I stumbled upon a video of a guy doing shotgun loading tutorials or something. The video was cut half and he was speaking another language and the gun accidentally went off and he blew his head clean off. I don't remember the website name or anything, I was just surfing funny videos to pass the time when I saw this. The amount of blood that went flying everywhere was horrible. I was just 11 when I saw this, so it practically scarred me bad. It still chills me when I think about it.
This reminds me of a video I watched 2 to 3 years ago of some people live on IG and they were worried about one of the people they were live streaming with. If I remember correctly, he had a mask on and a big gun, can't remember what it was. They kept saying don't do it or he's not going to do it, and eventually he blew his brains out. I remember just seeing brain matter all over his walls that he covered in tarp. Everyone in the live stream were shocked or crying. After a while you see his mom come home and casually walk into his room and you hear her screaming his name and just pure agony. What made me the angry were people on the site I saw it on commenting about how he did it to be edgy. I still vividly remember that video, unfortunately.
I think I saw that video. Only thing that stuck with me was when he shot himself in the head. It's like his lungs exhaled all the air they had for some reason. Like a big weird exhale as he fell to the floor.
Diaphragm contracts using energy and air fills the lungs due to pressure differences. Diaphragm relaxes and that pushes air out for exhale. When you die, everything relaxes once out of energy, and that's also why bodies tend to soil themselves.
The trick is being paid to clean it up and not vomit. I had to figure out once how to get a body out of a hot tub. He was in there for more than a few days. Worst thing I ever saw in person. Edit, don't die in a hot tub, PLZ.
I can't imagine how challenging that must be. I once remember seeing a news report about this family that had been victims of a violent triple murder. The poor grandmother came home to find her daughter and 2 grandchildren murdered. After the police took the remains away and had gotten all they needed for evidence and such, there was no one to clean up the crime scene, aka this woman's home, and blood was everywhere. Apparently it's not the police that clean up after crime scenes, but there are private services that usually end up costing a lot. That's when two women in that neighborhood put together a non-profit group specifically to help clean up crime scenes so the surviving victims wouldn't have to.
If you've ever seen someone die this very well, maybe the thing that sticks with you, it's weird. Like some subconscious primitive way of knowing someone is actually really dead.
Yeah, that's that weird part of the internet that I've managed to nope out of luckily. Some things aren't worth what they take from you.
A lady on Gonline got mad at me in chatterbox. So she went on my profile and spammed it with gifs of someone beating a dog to death with a shovel. I remember seeing the first one and crying a lot because at the time I was like 11 or 12. She sent like 10 before I got her blocked and later banned. I had to manually delete each comment from my public profile. Each gif was from a different point in the same video. It was really sad, and I didn't go back onto my PC for a long time.
Holy POO, that's very effed up.
This isn't the internet but more on a call. I was on a call with my girlfriend who was in Germany at that time, early 2019, when suddenly she seemed to be repeating what she was saying from a while back. I got confused and was trying to ask her why she was repeating herself before I realized that her voice was being looped back. I didn't realize the loop point or how far back it was, but she was clearly saying the same lines as she did before. When I hung up and called her back, she asked me why I hung up on her and didn't call me back. Then during the second call, it happened again after 3 minutes. I've never been able to explain why this happened and has never occurred again before or since. Definitely gave me the creeps and more than a few thoughts that I was living in a simulation.
I work with telecom and I've seen this happen before. The call gets stuck in a loop and the same audio packets gets replayed over and over. Customers are often freaked out by it. Another fun bug I heard about was that the callee got all silent for about 5 seconds and then GE started speaking real fast and sounded like Donald Duck. What made it funnier was that the Donald Duck guy was a super serious CEO who did not want to sound lil an angry duck at all. You were dating a bot.
Mind your words, please. That's called a hot girl in your neighborhood.
The time 4chan figured out how to get into the White House's networked warning system. Edit, context, okay, so post 9/11, the thread said that there are these phone systems that are IP phones set up throughout that government and they can be called during an event. The number is automated and a woman's voice will start reciting numbers and phrases, indicating instructions to the person who was given the number to begin with. Usually things like orange, orange, orange 5, 3, 1. I found out about it because someone posted it in 2011/2012 or so. It was just the number and a picture of the White House. Thread was also cross-posted on /x/. In the thread, someone started posting codes that actually worked and progressed people further into the automated system.
I rang my mum on WhatsApp to do a video call. When she answered, it was a man with his shirt off, middle-aged, 50s, with glasses on, sitting on a couch. It sort of looked like a hotel room. He had a foreign accent and said yes. Hello. Who is this? I hung up immediately and rang my mum again and she picked up and she was on camera walking around near a pond. It was absolutely bizarre and has never happened again. Update: these theories about my mum having an affair or teleporting from this bloke's room to the pond are both salacious and hilarious. Keep them coming, the more outrageous the better. Definitely a rare case of a complete F-up on the provider's part.
Not that rare though. I've had this happen before with calls. I call someone and I end up speaking with a different person who made a call at the exact same second as I did.
Cross connections used to be so common back in landline days.
I keep hoping that guy will comment something like, I was sitting in my hotel room when a total stranger called me on WhatsApp and immediately hung up.
Me too. I'd love to know what happened. I was just a bit frightened, I guess, because I didn't dial her number. I just clicked on mum that's stored. So it wasn't like I'd misdialed a number.
Honestly, just a bug. There was a period of time when I would use FaceTime audio to call my partner and it would connect me to a Canadian bank, and vice versa. Explained the situation to the customer service guy I got connected to and he was confused as well, lol.
It was your FBI agent.
Naive me got into kids chat, randomly got messaged by a guy asking if I want free toys. Childish me accepted, then guy led me to a 4 GB folder full of random dog photos. Scrolling down a bit further there's a few zip files, some photos were oversaturated than the rest, others I can't even make out. Who reminds me of some oil creepypasta and noped out.
LOL, you fell for the puppy in the van trick and it wasn't even real puppies, just pictures.
I went on kids chat because I was in a lot of Save the Children FB groups. I pretended to be 13 and got a lot of messages by creepy 50-year-olds. It's known for being a website for pedophiles to message kids now.
It's straight up called kids chat? That's the equivalent of sending out a Batman signal to pedophiles.
Back in the early days of the internet, that's what the kids' chat rooms were called. They didn't expect, they should have, that people would use it to groom kids.
So I decided to just type in something like mmmmmmmmmmmmmmm.com or something like it. Coca-Cola used to, or still does, own a URL like that. But just the same letter maybe 13 to 15 times. It came to a choppy video of a movie called South 32. It was cryptic and edited to just say South 32 over and over again, for 4 hours. So I tried a different letter. Same thing. And another letter. Same thing. The same website popped up for maybe 20 different O's in that type of sequence. I tried submitting it to the Internet Mysteries subreddit but it didn't gain any traction and I don't believe it works anymore. This must have been 4 years ago now.
South 32 was a debunked online mystery that amounted to one dude who made a living on cyber squatting on various websites and seemed to be trying to fleece an Australian mining company for a domain with their name attached. Things are really looking up for Taco Corporation.
Haha. Is this it? https://udo.be/zosgjqhn94 specifically 411.
The movie and the mining company were the only things I was ever able to find. It is very strange, but I don't know if it's strange for a purpose or just for its own sake. It almost feels like something a paranoid schizophrenic would put together if asked to make a movie.
South 32 is a company made by a website squatter. They take the names of websites for big companies, then make gross /scary poo on the websites until the actual company pays them for the domain name. In this case it's them trying to take money from the South 32 mining company. The movie South 32 was made with no budget in a short amount of time to make it look like they aren't domain squatters to legal courts when they really are.
That's a perfectly logical explanation. One unsolved mystery down.
I was 12, alone in my room, casually browsing YouTube on my old laptop, when suddenly a jump scare opens on a completely different tab on Chrome. I still remember my webcam's light blinking. I was so terrified that I wasn't able to use my laptop alone for a good 6 to 7 months lol.
Oh, you definitely got hacked by some dumbass there.
Camera to catch reaction. Probs he scrapped a montage and posted it in a sketchy site for hackers and those tech rebels.
Shut up and dance.
I would have been scared pooless because I'm not good with jump scares. I rather don't bat an eye or I'll be hyperventilating for like 10 minutes straight, no in between. Humanbeef.com. I tried to find it on the Wayback Machine to no avail. It was super creepy though. Edit, ostensibly, a place to purchase human meat. They had testimonials and photos/artistic renderings of processing employees wearing masks and of the final product. It's been over 20 years, 1998-ish, since I saw it, so my memory is a little faded, but I'm pretty sure the URL was humanbeef.com. I remember the color scheme being white and turquoise. Anybody else remember it? Edit 2, I guess it was manbeef.com, not humanbeef.com. That said, according to a hoax expose website, it's now, quite unsurprisingly, P. I didn't verify, but you've been warned.
Was it like rotten.com or different?
In the post above this one I just read a 2-paragraph comment about how to properly seduce a female dolphin.
Hey, me too.
I'm lucky I ain't you too.
I changed the email address attached to my Amazon account. A year later I forgot and tried to sign into my account with old email address. The same password worked, but it was someone else's account, name and address was different, and the guy hadn't bought anything. Why did he use my old email? It was unique to me and didn't match his name, and how did the password end up the same as mine?
Your Amazon account was probably made public in a data dump.
What's that?
I'm not completely sure, but I get notifications about them a lot. What I'm assuming happens is that there's either a breach of company information, accounts, passwords, or someone leaks a huge number of accounts from different websites and posts them all in a .txt file, and usually they'll sell them for a couple bucks a pop. Usually the accounts they sell are unused or inactive for a while, but sometimes I'll get a notification that an account I am active on has been breached.
Hey, are you really a survivor from Rwanda?
I mod Discord servers for a while. Users send you all sorts of shock stuff when you ban them, typically just stuff like gay pee that doesn't make me blink twice. One guy sent me a home video of someone being beheaded. Wasn't ready for that. I know exactly what you mean. One of my Discord servers got raided with shovel dog. One of the first times I've seen gore. Since then it's become a sadly regular event for modding growing servers.
This is why whenever I set up a server, the original text channel that everyone can always see becomes the rules channel without posting rights. Then there's a second channel only for untagged users, anyone with any permissions at all gets blocked out of it. Then there's all the rest of the stuff on the server, it requires permissions to get to. So any rando that tries to raid can spam an empty channel with nobody there.